I am Kevin, the Healing Medium, and I was thinking about it, I was watching that intro, I was like, this is a hat trick. And you're probably thinking like, what the heck? But I read, I read with Susan on Deanne Shield Maiden's channel. And then I had the pleasure of being on Susan Lynn's channel. And now she is on my channel. So I'm triple excited. I'm so excited to have you. I love you. I know you know that. I say it each time that I connect with you. I think you're a brilliant human being. I love your energy. I love your YouTube channel. I think you're an incredible psychic and a medium. And I love that you kind of not separate them, but decipher them differently. And I love your ethic and your integrity around the work, all of it. So I'm so honored. I'm so honored. It's a bit of a pinch me.
Are you kidding me? After that intro, I was like, holy smokes. Like, I should have dressed better for that intro. Like, golly, man. I mean, I'm over here. My viewers are like, yeah, here we are. We're just going to get right, and we've got this amazing intro with the music. And I'm like watching it like, wow, I'm in a theater. Where's the popcorn?
It's good. You know what? And you understand this. You understand about raising our vibration so that we can connect with spirit in the way. So it's like, I gotta play that music. It cues me to step into it. So I hope it's supportive for you too, because it raises your vibration and the heart rate goes up and it's like, we're raising the roof.
For real. And I love that visual. I mean, I was a photographer for so many years.
Okay.
I was loving that smoky, ethereal energy. I'm like, wow, Hollywood.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I love it too. So thank you. Thank you so much. We are going to take some questions today, but as you see, I've just asked that you hold off on the questions so that I can focus. I would just love to get to know Susan Lynn a little bit more, her being on my channel for the first time. You guys know that I love to allow just a little bit of time to get to know them a little bit. And so in that, I read your bio and it was interesting. And there's often the parallels in how things unfold. And so I was interested in when you were a child. I was reading that how the adults were around it. So to let them know kind of what your childhood looked like as far as the gifts of being aware of spirit and how, the adults understood or didn't understand that. I'm hoping you'll share that with the chat.
Sure, you bet. And listen, I want to just say that I'm honored to be on your channel because I think you're an amazing medium, and I'm trying to like pump myself up here so I don't, look like a slouch. So, I'm telling you, Kevin is for real, y'all. You gotta bring it all when you're next to Kevin. You got to bring everything. So I've called every spirit guide that I've ever had in my entire life, and I'm like, you guys better be here. You better get my back over here because I don't want to look like an idiot. Okay, so like, stop slouching and let's get to work. Anyway.
And you know what? Here's the other beautiful thing in that is that I think that plays into our trust, and that we know just by showing up, spirit always shows up and they always have our back. And it's like, and how you and I think we connect and we read together. I feel like I will say it's a very, it's a special, reading with you is really special. Working with you is special in that I think we complement one another, and that we've been in the demonstration where we're connecting and linking into the same spirit. And that doesn't happen with everybody. So I love that. So I'm honored. So back to you.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much. So you asked about my childhood. So,
yeah.
My mom passed away when I was 7. And that really kind of flavored a lot of things, obviously. But, we had this great big old house, and my dad never remarried. And it was really weird. My dad would talk about ghosts, and he would talk about the bed next to him like an indention. Like, my mom, his wife, was sitting on the bed next to him. he would share this, at breakfast, eating our Wheaties or whatever. But then I have to tell you guys, being a young child, when I tried to blame the lamp that I broke on the ghost, it didn't get me anywhere. I'm like, why? How come you can see ghosts and I can't? But but I really did. The truth of the matter is I really did see ghosts. And having been a young child with that kind of tragedy, when I saw things at night, it wasn't a good thing, unfortunately for me. I saw things that I felt were scary. So unfortunately, I didn't really see, fairies or even my mom. I mean, I didn't see that. I saw things that were unexplainable. Eyes. I saw faces, which a lot of mediums, I don't know if you do this, Kevin, but I found that a lot of mediums kind of see faces flashing before their eyes, like when they're trying to go to sleep or just drifting off, like ting, 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 like just these faces that you don't recognize, you don't know. So it was weird. It was mixed signals, right? So my family really believed in it, but when it came down to really me saying, no, look, this is true, this is real, this isn't really a joke, then they were like, oh, no, we can't go there, we can't go quite that far. So it was mixed signals, I would say.
So you were aware as a child, like of these things, of your abilities in reflection, perhaps. And so I'm curious when you actually were really aware of your awakened abilities, your gifts. So if you could share when that was.
Well, this happens to all of us, right? A lot of us that are watching this video will be able to connect with this. You see something as a child and it freaks you out and there's no explanation and you get no support. So what do? You block. You just throw up a block. Like, I don't ever want to see that again. I never want to use that ability again. So that's what I did. I blocked it. I became the queen of blocking. And when it really resurfaced was when I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, and I went to Houston to the Art Institute to learn photography. And I made my way to Galveston, which is this island off the coast of Texas, but it's very haunted. It's not really old by East Coast standards. It's only maybe 150 years old, but it's very haunted. So when I got there as a kind of a young adult, it was cool to see ghosts. It was cool to hang out with your single friends and go to their apartment in this old Victorian and experience the ghost. Well, that's when it was cool for me to talk about it. So then I became known from my friends as sort of this ghost whisperer, get Susan over here. She'll be able to talk to that, old bitty ghost that keeps throwing things on the floor. So that kind of, but I kept it compartmentalized, right? I'm like, this is a part, I kind of felt like it was a parlor trick, to be honest with you. And it made me cool, so I was like, okay, that's fine. And then because I continued to kind of stay in that area with these older homes, in my photography studio was in an old building. We all had ghosts. I mean, it was just part of the landscape. And I would talk to them out loud. And my employees would be like, yeah, will you tell him he slammed the door or he took my purse and threw it on the floor? So, I'd be over there like trying to reason with him, but I never realized that this was weird, right? Because it was so accepted with those people. I never thought that I was different or weird. I mean, I just was like, I'm trying to help, right? And I remember telling this old guy, he was like telling me, before this building had been broken into three places, into three separate, subdivided, he says, oh, there was this long counter and I sold menswear and it was, and I remember telling him in this exasperated way, look, it's 1999. I'm just trying to get my work done here. I'm sorry somebody messed up this building and now you're mad, but you know what? I can't help you. I mean, he was just really grousing, which a lot of ghosts do. I just, so that's kind of how it went. But I put the brakes on it before, like becoming a medium, that took 10 more years, honestly.
Interesting. Can you think of anything that, like, because the trust is so important, and our ability to actually, I want to back up first, because I want to say another thing that I love about you is the way that in your sharing and in your experiences, there's also opportunity for it to be teachable. And I love that. I love that how you, when you present things, that there's teachable moments in it. I just think it's extra golden nugget. So I wanted to acknowledge that. And now I've lost my train of thought, but you know what that's like.
I do.
It's like we're getting information already. There's people that are spirit that are like on deck that are excited to connect. And
since I'm talking to Canada, there's a queue, not a line, but a queue.
But oh yes, so that's it. Thank you. Was there an experience that deeply and profoundly deepened your trust with spirit? I'm sure there was many, but is there one that you could share with us?
When you say trust, what you mean is I finally stopped being terrified.
Yeah, that's part of it. Mm-hmm.
You know, because I had an experience with a ghost where they came down to me and made me feel intensely sad, and I felt violated. I felt like, wow, I didn't want this in my body. I don't know you, you know? So, but I would say trust. For me, what spirit is talking about for me to share, right? It's trust. When we do this work, you guys, validation is everything, because if you don't have somebody else telling you that makes sense, your brain doesn't have anywhere to put this information. I mean, you're basically essentially making things up, right? But for me, a friend asked me to go to her brother's house in Galveston and talk, because he had a really bad ghost problem. And this ghost was so clever and intense. He was a sailor. And you know how you have the cords on your mini blinds? Well, this guy was literally weaving the cords in sailor's knots. And he was doing things like the guy made him mad because he was renovating the house, and the ghost was like, this house is beautiful. I built this house, right? This, you can't touch it. So where I really, what touched me was when I told this guy, he's not knotting up your mini blind cords. They're sailor's knots. And I went to my phone and I showed him the knot. I said, this is the knot he's doing. And the guy's face just went white. And he said, yeah, that's the knots. How do you know that? Because they weren't, you know, knotted. I'm like, I don't know. The guys just told me, you know what I mean? But that's when I think for me, I realized that I can really do this. And I tried to broker a deal between those two men. But to be honest with you, that guy ended up moving. Because they were really a lot alike in some ways. And the new owners were fine. They didn't punch each other's buttons. But that's when I realized, okay, wow, like you have this realization, right?
Yeah.
That, okay, I really am doing this.
Yeah.
And
that's
I can
awesome.
help people.
Yeah, that's such a key. And then another thing in that is that when we replace the fear with curiosity, and then add the layer of we're always in control of that. So if something doesn't feel comfortable, then we get to say, stop. Like, you know, we're in control of that. Sometimes more than we are aware of. So there's that layer of it as well. Your demonstration, actually, I was talking to you about this backstage, about your demonstration with your guides and how easy it is for you, and or how it comes across so easy. I'm curious if you could share with people, because it's one of the things that people are looking to deepen their connection with their own guide. So if you have any little tips or thoughts around how people can broaden that connection.
Sure. And thank you for mentioning that we have control over this, because that's what we don't realize. If you just tell your guides, I don't want to see this, or I don't want to participate in this, they'll work with you, right? I mean, you really have complete control. So that's an important thing to say. The best thing that you can do and this is what I did. If you want to know what I did, I raised my vibration. Your spirit guides love you unconditionally. Unconditionally. There is no critical or critiquing or anything. They love you no matter what. So they're here. If you're self-critical, you're here. And sometimes it's hard to connect with them, right? I mean, you're sort of like two ships passing in the night. They're always guiding you. They're always over you, orchestrating your life, helping you. But you don't always know that because you're down here. So the best thing you can do is to stop the critical self-talk. So I had to catch myself when I would say, oh, Susan, man, you really messed that up. I mean, what were you thinking, right? Instead of that, I started saying, okay, Susan, that was a mistake. There's no doubt about it. That was a mistake. But because you've made mistakes in your life, just as being human, you know how to fix them. It's a good thing you know how to fix them. And then I make a joke out of it and I laugh, and laughter raises your vibration. So raising your vibration is the best thing you can do.
I love it.
I'm always going to stay up there. I don't want people to get the impression that we always have to force ourselves. We're human. The guys tell me that all the time, right? So you're going to have lows and highs and lows and highs. What we want to do is not add to whatever external lows and highs are happening by being down on ourselves. So you have to realize you're your own best cheerleader. You are your own best cheerleader. Be your own best cheerleader. And then those lows you'll kind of flatten out those lows and highs.
That's awesome. I love that info. Made me think of a question that's not on here, but how important, what are your thoughts around imagination when we're in communication with guides or spirit, loved ones? What role does imagination play for you?
See, you're a natural teacher. I've told you this. So yes.
That's actually the first thing that you said to me. Little sidebar, we meet each other and she starts like, I'm going to say it felt like a little bit of a reading and it was wonderful. It was so spot on. You were like, you're a teacher. You're going to be teaching. You just went into it. And I was like, nice to meet you too. No, I loved it.
It happens sometimes. Especially, people that I know and I don't walk up to strangers and do that. Right. But I really don't. So yes, you guys, imagination is the language of spirit. It's actually the language of spirit. So people will say, I'm just imagining this. Well, yes, you are. But that's how they communicate to us. It's not, our brains have so little really to do with it. And that's why when I'm doing my videos, I'm like 60% spirit, 20% or 40% Susan, because for me, I'm a Virgo, I'm a Capricorn, I'm a critical thinker. And it would be impossible, frankly, for me to do this without channeling. So I just learned that for me, I need to slide over. And even in my readings, right, I just let that come through. But that's through your imagination. You can trust your imagination. And I'm going to tell you guys, you're not making it up. People say I'm making it up. And my challenge to you would be try and make it up. Just try. Go ahead and grab a piece of paper right now and make up something. Make up a story. It's impossible. So when you do a reading or you're practicing and you say, I'm getting this impression that XYZ, you didn't make that up, honey. That is your imagination. That is real guidance that comes through your imagination, as well as, your hearing, your clairaudience and clairvoyance, you're seeing all that stuff.
I love it. Some people are asking about, and thank you all for being here. We got lots of people joining us. Such a pleasure. And if you haven't subscribed to Susan Lynn's channel, she's approaching the 10,000 subscriber. And so let's just really help her get there. It just means reaching more people. It's less about, the number in relation to that looking good. It's about, connecting to more people. and really being in service with spirit. And I know that about Susan Lynn. So in that, please subscribe to her channel. The link is in the description box below, as well as how to get a hold of her if you're looking for readings. And then I'm curious about, are you offering any, because people were asking about workshops, if you're doing any teachings?
See, okay, another teachable moment. This is how spirit works with you. Like people say to you, have you thought about this? And you're like, why is everybody asking me this? And then you get a reading and the psychic says the same thing. And you say, 3 people have mentioned this to me. That's spirit basically working. So yes, they want me to do more teaching. I don't have anything planned right now. I do have a Patreon channel for $9 a month. And we do an every 2 weeks we just had one today where we do really cool oracle card readings for ourselves. Spirit asked me to the question, like the question comes from spirit. Like the question might be, what are you afraid to let go of? And you pull a card and it tells you, and then you journal. It's like this self, yeah, it's really cool. But I also do class, like I did a spirit guide, meet your spirit guides. And I'm going to do a mediumship workshop in, I think, the beginning of November on that as well. So for $9 a month, you kind of get some classes, but I am going to be doing some other classes. I know Spirit wants me to teach. They've been talking to me about it. And now they got Kevin talking to me about it. And they've got all of you guys talking to me about it. I love to teach. It's just hard to kind of fit it all in. But yes, it is coming. Seriously. maybe we're going to teach something together. I was just going to say the same thing. Maybe Kevin and I are going to teach a class. Yes, let's do it. It's like Christmas. You guys. It would be amazing. It would be. Yeah, it will be. Let's actually change that. It will be amazing. It will be. So wonderful. I want to back up because I think that you should patent this, because this is yours. Oh, the chills, the full body chills I got when you said imagination is the language of spirit. Susan Lynn, that's like a book, an oracle deck, whatever. And that's, I mean, you should. I wish I could remember the things they say in readings. I wrote it down for you. Like Susan is like, that's brilliant. That's really brilliant, but then I don't remember it. I'm like, oh my God, that like I could do a whole video on that one poetic, brilliant statement that they say, Yeah. But thank you. Yes, that is something I have asked them to remember, because I really feel like it's true. For people like me that are like thinkers, it's the wrong thing. It's the wrong thing. Wrong tool in your toolbox. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, I know we're going to get to some readings. Yes. I'm just trying to see 1 or 2 more little questions. And I love British Columbia. I told you, I've been to British Columbia 3 times, and Chris Wickens says I need to go. I'm happy to go to British Columbia. Let's do a workshop up there in person. I would love it. I love British Columbia. Do you know that 2 other people, I won't say their names right now, but I know all of you know them, have mentioned doing a retreat / workshop in, Please invite me, please. I mean, that goes without saying. That goes without saying. Yes. What inspires you, Susan Lynn? What really inspires me is helping people are those readings where I like to do readings. I mean, I've had a lot of readings in my life, of course, but I like to go back to spirit. So they'll say, yes, you are going to get the job. No, you aren't going to get the job, whatever, right? And I like to go back and say, well, give them some steps. Let's give them a plan. Let's give them something really tangible. And I love that. I love because I love completing a project, right? So I love it when they give somebody the steps, like if you do these things, this is going to put you on the road towards this. I just love helping people, honestly. I love that answer. And I think it answers the other question I was going to ask you as a follow-up to that was,
how do you provide other people a sense of hope? And you just answered that in a very selfless way of, that's just truly being, in my opinion, in service with spirit. And, it being, partly about us, but more about other people and that contribution and that impact, and giving them a sense of hope, because we all need that. And so I love it. Should we do some readings?
Yes, I'll try to keep up with you. And I would just say that's one of the reasons why I think our energy matches, is because you're the same person. You really want to give people hope. You want to give them the positive. This is what you can do, or this is how, I think that's important for both of us.
It's my number one. I before I even understood it, pardon me, as a child, that was my hope and desire and my call. And it was, I didn't know that was my purpose, but I knew that it was before it made sense of what that looked like, I always wanted to help other people. And so in that, there is a likeness in that, for us, for sure. All right. So question wise, I'm gonna do my best because things are moving super, super quick here. So give me a sec here we go. I'm going to star some of these guys and star and star and star. They were ready with their questions, and I see some new names. Thank you all for being here. For anyone that is new to my channel, please like and subscribe, leave a comment. I've got a few little announcements afterwards that I will share, just things that are going on in some offerings that I have. And beautiful. I love it. You all did capitals, and that really helps. The emojis, all of that magic. Lots of questions. And yes, the like button, do subscribe. Perfect. So as you're, if we can ask that, if we're, especially with the mediumship, well, any for that matter, as we answer the questions, if you could participate by giving us the quicker the better, as far as the yes or no, you understand or you don't. Like Susan said, the validation is really important, so that we can maintain the connection, if you will, so that we can bring the information. And also, we just really appreciate that when, because we won't get to everybody's question, it never happens that way. However, I want to acknowledge when you hold the space for other people, we're not also excluded in the messaging. So Spirit will piggyback and double up on the message. So if it feels like it fits for you, then it's for you. So really just be open to that. And we thank you all so much for understanding and being patient and all of that. And then in the mediumship, if you can add your the name of the loved one as well as the relationship, just helps us a little bit quicker, just for time, and so we can get to as many questions as we can. I love it. And okay, that's a lot of stars. Beautiful.
Stars.
I'm seeing stars. So, and I just wanted to acknowledge, Lena, thank you so much. I never share any of my readings that I never mention names of anyone, but of course, if people want to share their experience, I'm just so humbled. And you know that, Lena, I love you. So thank you so much for your little message there. I appreciate. And I just have to say, I was aware of what felt like a fatherly energy just before we go, if someone understands this. And I wrote it down. It was while Susan was talking. I was trying to pay attention to her, but this father energy was stepping forward. There's an H name. It would be a heart passing. So I was aware of something related to the heart. The month of May was important. It was a particular significance about horses and farms, as well as something just highlighting a horseshoe. So if anyone understands that information, let us know. Let us know, because that needed to come through. And I feel
That's
better that
amazing.
I
I
released
just
that.
want to tell you guys right now, I think you guys are used to seeing Kevin. You don't understand how good he is. That right there was, John Holland, John Edwards. I'm not kidding.
Susan Lynn.
Like,
Susan Lynn.
no, I'm telling you guys, he blows me out of the water. No,
Bless
that's
you.
like next level, y'all. I'm just hanging out. Okay, Carol Lamb has 6 horses, but Carol, can you take some of the other things with that?
Also, my dad, Harold, H name, my mom rode horses. Carrie, I'm feeling drawn to you. And it's not to say that it's not for somebody as well, but just in that heart issues, Carrie, interesting. The month of May, did I say that? Yeah, he's saying that again. So the significance about the month of May, I feel like the horseshoe I'm holding onto. Like, I don't know if you actually have a horseshoe or if your mom has the horseshoe, but there's something about a horseshoe that I'm actually holding. So it feels like someone has that.
It's a real horseshoe. So not like a symbol or, like a sign. It's a real horseshoe.
Yeah.
May. So
I'm trying to read this. It's going up quick. My dad died on March 17th. Cherry. You would have to understand the majority of that info. So these can be little postcards, and that's a beautiful demonstration that they will, several with the similar will bring in a few little pieces so that it's a piggyback. So yeah, I just want to go. Are you getting anything on him, Harold?
Yes. I mean, I'm getting towards the end of May, but I want to just highlight what Kevin is saying, and that is that other spirits will jump on. You know what I mean? And that's okay. And that's a message for you. So if you have somebody that's on the other side that had horses, that had the H, but was a different month, that's okay. It's still a message for you. Also, this May thing, Horace, Cheryl Simpson says Horace had heart issues and they used to get ice from an ice horse and carriage way back then. But we don't know about May. There seems to be a significance of May, and there seems to be a significance of the horseshoe. Like maybe, and I feel like it's for a woman that's in chat. Do you feel like that? Like this is directed towards a woman. And you might have had this horseshoe as a child, or you might still have it, but there does seem to be significance of Sin holding the horseshoe.
This is Carrie. Yeah. And her brother is also in spirit, and May was significant. He was born in May and he passed in May. Carrie, I feel this one is for you. And what the message that I'm getting is that, first of all, I want to mention also that I see butterflies around you. So something about the butterfly being a part of the messenger for you, one of the signs. And I feel there's many, but there's encouragement for you to, it's like a letting go and a willing release, kind of wrapped up in one. And it's gentle, but it's just a little bit of extra encouragement, if you will, in this moment. So there's some things that it feels like that might not be serving you, and they can be hard to let go of. But there is encouragement from the other side for you. So just that would be the message that is coming through for you. Mm-hmm. Oh,
and I would just add that he says that he believes in you, and he just feels like he's your biggest fan. Like he believes in you, and he feels like you're holding back, that there's something that you might want to do, or something maybe you wish that you could do. But he wants you to know that he believes in you, and he hopes that you reach for the stars, is what I just heard. Perhaps you even look at the stars and think about him at night. There's something about stars and looking at the stars. So it's a beautiful message, if that makes sense for you, Carrie. It's a beautiful message if it makes sense for anybody, really.
Absolutely. We'll leave you with that, Carrie. Thank you so much for being so quick in the information. That was really helpful. So that's a perfect demonstration of how that works. So thank you so much. And next up, we have this one caught my eye. Marg L is asking, am I meant to have a mediumship business? I feel stuck about how to proceed. Thank you. I'm hearing yes.
Me too.
I'm hearing yes. And I love the humor. The humor around it is perfect because I heard yes, and what that I was going to say, what the heck are you waiting for? What the heck are you waiting for? So that's the abbreviated version. It wasn't heck, but but there's a comedy around it, and yeah, kind of what are you waiting for? Timeline. I'm using my cards from Lisa Foster, and they're the Time Oracle deck. So specifically within 6 months. So it's like I feel like you were ready 6 months ago. I think there's this illusion, is what it feels like, of this block. There is no block. It comes down to a choice. And if you're doing it with the integrity and the ethic, there are people waiting for you to connect with. So we don't have to worry so much about the level that we're at. There are always people that are waiting to connect with when we are being called to be in service with spirit. So whole body yes is what I'm getting.
Me too, Marg. Me too. And it's just your own, you're kind of standing in your own way, they're saying. They're ready. They're patiently ready and waiting, and they've got your back. And they understand, that you have some reservations. But they just want to encourage you and let you know that they're there. They're ready to help you.
Love it. Let us know. Keep us posted.
Yeah, keep us posted, Mark.
Speaking of keep us posted, I see a website being important. So I don't know if you've been in development of that or contemplation, but that feels really good around just one page, a landing page. Yeah, the professional image that adds to it is really good. So if you're considering that, go forward in the website as well, they're saying. I caught another one. And here's the thing, you guys, I go, and I think Susan Lynn agreed that she kind of does it the same way, is that where we feel called to go for the question. So I'm not specifically going in order. I'm not picking and choosing. I'm just being told to click this name. So I'm not even fully reading the question. That's kind of how not kind of how I work. That's how I work. So just so that you know. Hebert family, and I think this is for Jackie. Can I get a message from my mom, Helen or Helena? Helena? I'm bad with names sometimes. Helena? Yes.
So the way I work, and I think Kevin works like this too, but I'm probably a little bit more. Once I know that I'm connecting to Helene, then it's like, boom, I'm off to the races, right? And that's why we ask for validation, just because, to be honest with you, backstage here at Kevin and Susan's place is stacked with people. People that didn't even ask questions. Your spirits are here. So we could easily be, another person could slip in. So when we give you some validation, if you would just let us know if it's right or wrong, we don't care if you say it's not right. We just want to make sure that we're connected to the right Helene.
I don't know how to say this name either, but Crafty Lady. Oh, sorry, no. Crafty Lady, thank you so much for your donation. That's so kind.
Oh, that was nice.
I want to say my mom's name, Eileen. I misread Helena as Eileen for some reason, but I'm curious if you understand also the E female name connected to mom.
Helene.
Yeah, I don't. There's something there, but I want to say Eileen. If this is mom.
The woman that I'm getting is, I'm seeing two women. One is a little bit heavier, and the other woman is much thinner. And I feel like the heavier woman has this motherly feeling about you or interest in you. Even if you didn't meet her, she could be a grandmother that just loves you and follows you and acts as a little bit of a guide for you. But there's a thinner woman. It's almost like you had two mothers, or like there was another person who stepped in to help you sometimes. Does that make any sense at all, Helen? Okay, Helen. Okay, fantastic. It could be just a mistype, and it's Helen.
Could be. And is she still here? I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, and I'm also getting.
Oh yeah, she is there. Sorry.
Different country. Yes, it does. It makes sense. Okay, I'm getting that there would be one generation and then another generation from another country, like either one generation or two generations, and then there's a different country or different culture that I'm picking up on. And I feel like somebody smoked. I'm not sure if I'm feeling it in my chest more than I'm getting the sense of smoking. So it could be secondhand smoke. Let me know if that makes any sense, and I'll be quiet so that
It's interesting, Susan Lynn, that you said the two females, because I'm also aware of them as well. And one of them, would you understand, and I don't know which is which, so it'll help clarify that as well, is one would have, I feel like a cancer type illness through my body, more female related. So like a female type cancer, if you'd understand. I'm just trying to clarify the two of them. One of them is talking about a passport. So when you were talking about kind of like, there's something about a passport, I wrote that down, something about the passport. Is there a second language?
Like, I don't know if that's where the cancer was, or if it moved down below, or if it started, but I feel like my throat is hurting. Like I've got smoke, like, and in my chest is hurting. Okay, grandmother and mom had cancer.
Okay, it's both of them. Do you understand one, the female type cancer, specifically, just to differentiate the two? They might have both been, but one more specifically. I did feel chest area as well. Interesting. And who's the three children? I keep hearing three children.
I love that.
The three children. So this is mom and grandmother. Maternal, I feel, yeah. The three children. Do you need to update your passport? There's something about the passport. They're like, okay, we're not going past this until we get the passport sorted out.
Or visiting. We're supposed to be visiting somebody. There's or
something about
honoring. It could also be honoring that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Let us know if that makes any sense. I know it's hard to type, and I know that like if I was doing this, I would be typing and then messing up and backing up.
Same. Yeah. No pressure. No pressure, Jackie.
Kidney cancer and no passport. Okay. The passport has significance in some way, Kevin is saying. So it could be that honoring the culture or the other country, or perhaps getting a passport. Oh, it's also speaking to you, Ellen. Okay.
I had a feeling, and I think the passport is the splitter here. So Ellen, if you understand the passport, there is something, this woman is like adamant, and this feels like mom. There's something about the passport. So one of you either don't get stuck at the airport with not a renewed passport, or you're planning a trip, but there's something about a passport, the significance. There is something. And then there's something about the 3 children as well. When I felt into the energy of the children, these yellow canaries started to fly around. So there's something about the yellow canary. And then with I think this is back with Jackie, a significance about the month of January. So a significance around that. And I'll just go into the message part for Jackie. What I got was an attention around the decluttering. So just letting go of some stuff. It feels like, I don't know if you're in the move or in a movement, but there is this like kind of feeling of stagnant, if you will, that is now being moved around. So if you're just decluttering in the house that you live in, I wouldn't be surprised that sometimes in that, it's our way of knowing that there's actually a move that could potentially occur for you. So there's some attention and just a little bit of, so sometimes in that movement within the house, some of the things energy-wise that are connected to our loved ones get that little extra attention, if you will. So just some support and some encouragement around the decluttering, if you will. So that is that.
I'm just going to say that. So Kevin, when you were picking up the passport, was that from the thinner woman who I think might be mom? Or that was from that energy, right?
Yeah.
So Ellen, let us know if your mom in spirit, it would be on the thin side so that we can make sense of that for you as well. And then I would say for your grandmother who was talking, she's talking now about a dish. I don't know if I have this right. I don't know if it's strudel or it's some, I don't think it's strudel, but it's some kind of dish. That would be from a handed down, the recipe handed down from the women or the families, and it might be something. Oh, could it be an apple strudel? Now I'm seeing cinnamon on top. I don't know if that's what you do, but and it's a very specific thing. It has a very specific kind of dough. Let me know if that makes any sense. It's making me hungry. So yeah, have passport. Great. B-Day in January. Perfect.
Yeah. Interesting. Yes. And then for Ellen, her mom was on the thinner side. Interesting. So I think, was not on.
Yeah,
oh, okay. Oh, interesting. So then I think
like your message was for the Aber family.
Yeah. Agreed.
And she has her grandmother's vases. Okay. Perfect.
Interesting. Well, there you go.
You nailed it, Kevin, as usual.
Double little. Yeah. Double little. Yeah. Okay. That's good. What did you say about the vases? I missed that. But there's something about the vases.
He has her grandmother's vases.
Okay. Oh, interesting. So in the oh, got it. Got it. Love it. There you are, ladies. Love it. Okay. And I just wanted to acknowledge someone else gave a donation, and I don't want to miss that. I want to say thank you. And that was at 4:44. That's an interesting time. Angel number 444, Mei Yang.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that. Thank you so much. Alrighty here. And I highlighted some things that were just reminding us to put all in caps. And this interesting, another one. And so sometimes this is how they go. So another mother, DL Malley. Hello, any messages from my mother who passed away? DL Malley, if you're still here, could you give us mom's name? I'm hearing an S name. Curious if that is connected to mom. The S name. Cheryl Simpson, thank you so much. That is so kind of you. So generous.
Thank you, Cheryl.
You're so welcome, Jackie. And now I've lost my other DL. There we are. DL, if you're still here, can you please let us know? Why am I talking with an accent?
I don't know, but I like it. It's very interesting. So yeah, DL Malley, I would say it's just, when there's so many people in chat and there's so many spirits around, it just helps us connect quicker. If we have a name, it kind of like parts the crowd, if you will. Like, for sometimes I feel like I'm at the Price is Right and they're in the audience and they're like, yes, and they go down the thing and they're like, it's me. Depending on if they're an outgoing person or not. If they're not an outgoing person, they kind of slink down like, oh God. You know, like, you go talk to him. No, you talk to him.
Totally.
Oh, that is so sweet. Thank you.
That is so kind of you. Thank you, Jackie, so much.
Yeah.
That is so kind. DL Mal. Oh, let's see. Let me bring
DL Malley, and I know that name. I've seen that name.
I've seen that name too. Maybe we'll go back to it because it's a little. If we don't have someone, yeah, I think we'll go back to it.
It's also easier for us to connect to their energy if you're here connecting to us. If you're like, yes, I'm here, then it's sort of like easier for us to get in connection with them.
Yeah. Oh, are they here? Oh, they're here. Perfect. They flew in, the little dove. Little dove. Margie. Okay. Margie. Margie.
Again, let us know if this makes any sense. Would she have been would she have done crossword puzzles or had a pencil or used a pencil for something? I feel like maybe she's simply just doing math on the back of an envelope. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like not for a job, but it's just something. Feels like something that you would have a memory of. But just, if it doesn't make sense, that's perfectly fine. Just let me know. It doesn't make sense. I feel like she could have a little bit of a sense of humor. And there's something about her eyes. She has bright eyes. You know, like, like some people just have really cute eyes. I feel like she was cute in this way, in a way.
I'm taken to her hands as well around, like, if it wasn't the crossword and that, it's like I'm doing little crafty thingies with my hands. I am aware of another lady with the S name also in spirit. I don't know if that's your aunt, mom's sister, but there's something there with the lady with the S name in spirit. There's a significance about the month of September. If I'm with mom, I feel like my breathing is labored. So there's something to do with the breath. I can't get a full breath in. And this is random, but I'm smelling fresh paint. I don't know if you would understand that. Yeah. Oh, interesting. I'm smelling fresh paint. So DL Malley, if you understand that information.
Let us know.
I still want to talk with an accent. If you also understand that.
From Britain. Maybe the Queen is here.
I am channeling the Queen, everyone. Wonderful. And there was another donation. Miss Brazil, thank you so much.
Her mom painted. Yeah.
Mama painted.
Nice job. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love that because, here's the thing. The Claire Aliens is one of the, like, it's not used as much. So when I smell the smells, I get so excited because I'm like, I love smell. I have a very keen sense of smell. So yes, that's definitely mom. Oh, so wonderful. Okay. So I want to go into the message. I feel this is mom. Oh, okay. I want to. distracted. Susan, you go ahead if you've got anything. I just want to pull a card or two. Just get a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
message.
sure. Would she have been short of stature? You know, would she have been? Well, again, now I'm seeing two people. I'm seeing someone who's a little bit taller, like 5'7", but I'm seeing and the woman that I feel like has these cute little button eyes is shorter. So that could be, and maybe she's the S name that Kevin's picking up on. It's the shorter woman is not the painter. Okay, it's the other. It's the little bit taller. She would have been like between 5'6" and 5'7", maybe 5'5". But this other woman is quite a bit shorter by the time she got older. I'm wondering if that's what I saw. Not a pencil, but a paintbrush. Let me know if that makes any sense whatsoever. We got that she painted. Yep, absolutely.
Wonderful. I want to talk about message-wise. First of all, she's showing me a white feather. So if you see the feathers, that's one of the signs that she's showing you, DL Malley. And then another thing that she's talking about, and I'm just asking for the words for this one. And you don't have to go into detail, but just acknowledging that if you've had some worry or concern about a sense of security, you don't have to spend your time in that worry. Things will be okay. There's a strong support from the other side working with you. And so lessen the amount of time that you spend in the thoughts that are creating worry about this feeling of security. And then there's also invitation for you. So it's perfect. Okay. So it's in that, what the energy is, go into relaxation. So just from a step away from the worry, and we all have worry. So in that, acknowledge it, but then just do something that will bring you into the relaxation. That's what the invitation and the message is coming in for you from Mom. So. Mm-hmm.
So she's saying that's what she did when she painted. That was her stepping away from worry and her stepping away from the everyday, kind of, that kind of thing. And she's saying, find your version of that. That's what Kevin is saying. Basically, I'm going to just piggyback on that and say that that's what she's saying is find your peace. What she's saying is find your peace. A peace of mind is worth everything, she's saying.
So beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So the S is her sister, her oldest sister, who has also passed. Okay. That makes sense. So just hear the message and just know lots of love, I think, coming in collectively through Mom and sister for you. Beautiful. Spirit's amazing.
He's amazing. Kevin is amazing. For real.
Spirit's amazing. Right? So darn good. All right, DL Malley, thank you so much. Lots of love to you. All right, let's go into D. Look at those little chickadee birds. Lots of birds. The doves, I saw the yellow bird.
The canaries? Yeah.
All the birds. The birds are out. I love it. And I recently put in my notice at my job, and I am very scared because I have nothing lined up yet. Do you see? Oh, this is so curious. Okay, so they're already going back to the security, the message from Mom. And I know it was somebody else's mom, but that's the type of energy that she was. She would want to take care of people in their concern. So whoever needs to know this about, yes, it's scary to step into something and to be in choice and to move into something where there's not a lot of certainty. It's scary. In the humanness of it, we've all been there. But also sometimes that scariness or the fear part of it is a mask and illusion for the excitement that when we know that we're moving through something and moving into something that is new, the excitement is right on the other side of that fear. So yeah, acknowledge the fear, but then we can let it go and be in the energy of the excitement. This is really exciting. And this is a time where people are making those big changes on the heels of, all of us. We weren't separate from being told what to do for a big chunk of time. And in the uncertainty of that, we're now moving through it, and we're in the choice of things. So yeah, we got to be safe and we got to do things responsibly, but Spirit is supporting us in making these big moves. So I don't even need to pull cards on this. It's going to be okay. You're gonna, the new job is going to fall into place. It's gonna, and that's just it. So putting in your notice, it's like now that just letting go of that allows something to, for you to let in. So it feels really good. I'm excited for you.
I would just add that what Kevin just said is let something in. So Spirit is just saying, try to be open, because that worry and that fear will shut you down. And then you'll end up maybe taking a job that you don't love, or one, you know what I mean? Just because you've gone into this reaction of fear. Spirit is saying, try to do what Kevin just said. Try to just be open and trust and allow. The more you can do that, the faster the job will come in.
Well, I didn't mean to do that one. Sorry about that. That makes me feel better. D, we're so taken care of. And sometimes in the doing of it, right when we're in it, in reflection, we'll go, oh my gosh, I worried so much about that. And so much of the worry that we do is things that we make up that actually don't even come true. So just being in that awareness, I remind myself that the good, the bad, and everything, it's always temporary. So just be in the movement, allow yourself to feel how you feel. But this feels exciting. It feels like a gift that you're gonna, because I saw one of your comments about you being in the stress and working with a boss or a manager, and it was time. This feels good. So be with that energy. Be with that energy, and all the best to you. So good. And I think that spoke to some other people as well, like that feeling of security. There's so much illusion that we, it's the mask of is it actually fear or is it actually excitement? And I think they live so closely together, and in the humanness of making those changes and really being powerful in making those choices, we're also powerful. So lots of energy to those of you who are making the big changes, all about the number 5s. And isn't there a full moon or something tonight?
Yeah.
I mean, how fitting is that? Yeah. I don't know much about this moon, but I think it's probably connected to the moon, they're saying.
It's illumination. It's illumination. Allow your path, listen, if you guys will just trust and love yourself, you can't lose. If you bet on yourself, your spirit guides are betting on you. If you bet on yourself too, you really can't lose.
Love it. Oh, so good. Okay. I want to shift into, we already did that one. Thank you, Dee. That's funny. I took a deep breath. I got a little bit anxious there. And then I was looking at this. I think this is actually just in what we just spoke about as well, is that, first of all, panic attacks are real. And in it, sometimes before we get to that level, 7, 8, and 9, and then it's, we're just, we can't receive or get out of it until the energy kind of passes through us in that fullness of a panic attack. But it's learning to, before we get there, we have to be aware of the thoughts that we're having, because that will then in turn, if it's not the right thoughts, it just goes into that snowball. So yes, there is potential for your daughter to heal from panic attacks. I've dealt with it myself, and I have most people that I know deal with anxiety and panic, and some to the extreme of disorders. So in that, yeah, there are techniques that we can, okay, I'll share that. They're talking about the breath, and interesting enough, on Friday I had a breath work expert join me, and so if you feel called to that, coming back to the breath, it brings us to the present moment. So in it, I mean, panic and the breath, they go hand in hand. So if you feel called to check that out, I'll mention it now that we're actually hosting a free workshop on the 22nd of October, which is a Saturday, from 4 o'clock till 6:30 Pacific Daylight Time. It's all in the description box. There's still about half room to join in that, but Spirit's acknowledging that. So yeah, and I feel that's connected from mom. So that would be grandma for your daughter. So check that out, Diana. And if
Does
you
your
want
daughter have a pet? Does she have a dog or a pet? I feel that when she has this, I feel like it's a dog, and I feel like the dog really helps her calm down and sort of get like with the present energy. And I know she might not be able to take the dog to work or the pet to work, but it feels like to me this could be, and there might be a potential of some sort of pet allergy, but I feel like it's not a severe pet allergy. I feel like they could take a Zyrtec and still have that pet, or get a hyperallergenic pet, something along those lines as well.
I love it. I'm just being careful of what I'm saying, but just in conversation in the last day or so, just having conversation about service dogs. So important. Yeah, more and more of those.
Oh, her dog died a while ago, but she's been wanting one. This would be important for her. She might even have a service dog, but even if it's just this super calming for her, it's very calming. So even if she just had it at home, you know what I mean? It would be a difference. That and the breath work that Kevin's talking about would be really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful, Juanita.
Thank you all for all these new viewers that are coming. I so appreciate it. I'm sure you know who Susan Lynn is. So I think that's the connection. Thank you so much for joining. And if you feel called to subscribe to my channel, please do. And thank you so much for being here. I'm actually just going to pause for 1 sec, because I wanted to mention about Susan Lynn's channel. So she's approaching 10,000. So please, if you have not already, subscribe to her channel. It's easy. The link is in the description. She did share some of the offerings that will be coming up as far as class and workshops. So do you post that kind of stuff through your website, or how do you communicate that?
It's on my website. And if you're a client, I send an email out, and I do mention it on YouTube. Those things typically book before I mention them on YouTube. But I do mention them on YouTube. So yeah.
Yeah.
But they're on my website as well.
Perfect. And as I was mentioning, the breathwork session, as well as Susan's website, it's in the description box. The breathwork session workshop is also in the description box if you feel called to come join us for that. And I have 2 more appointments. I've got 2 bookings left for 2022 for private readings, and then I will be full for the year. We had added those, so we'll be able to get a couple more people in this year. And then next year, I've opened up my mid-January till the end of March, and I think I have about 20-something appointments left for that section. So if you do feel called to have a reading one-on-one, check out my website. It's in the About Me. And yeah, it will bring you to my website. And I added a new, actually, it's exciting. I was getting lots of requests for kind of half mediumship, half psychic. So I've added a new combo. So that's an option on the website as well. Okay.
So forgive me. I have to just go around the back of my computer because apparently my laptop is not plugged in. And it's going to
go for it.
die any second. So excuse me just a second. I don't know how that happened or what is going on here. Let's see. So crazy, right?
Oh, and then the doggies. I see a tail.
Yeah, there was a tail. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm trying to find the power plug.
You're fine.
Here it is. Here this is. Let's see if it worked. Oh, I see. I'm going to slide back. Now my monitor's off. This is hilarious.
It's all good. It's quite entertaining, I will say.
Yeah.
It's like a little, it's like let's all go to the lobby break.
There we go. Now, all right. Yeah. Get your popcorn. This is your break to get your drinks and popcorn. Let's see. See if I can mute myself.
All right, where are we here? And thank you all so much for being here. Lots of lovely people. That's so funny. I see the British Chippy. That's so cute. I like your profile picture. Oh, Susan Lynn, this is interesting. This is just a little feedback from D. O'Malley, but both sisters died from breast cancer. That was interesting. Yeah. Wow.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All righty. Shall we do a couple more? We got we got maybe time for one or two more here. And then we'll have to do this again. Oh, can I actually say this? And you can correct me if I'm totally wrong in this.
Sure.
You're probably like, what is he going to say? Because I think we're going to do this regularly, like maybe once a month-ish, where we're doing this and we're going to alternate channels. I mean, that's on my Christmas list.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That sounds awesome. So I'm on his channel and then he'll come to my channel and then we'll do this kind of back and forth. Wouldn't that be amazing?
I think it will be fantastic. So that makes me excited. Bridget, yours is calling to me. I want to start an artist grant program that allows struggling artists to focus on projects without financial concerns. Bridget, are you still here? Because is there a question in that? Is there a question in that, Bridget? Oh, and they're saying great. They're saying, I love this. Yes, please. So they're doing the happy dance. Me too, you guys.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
Wonderful. Bridget, if you are here, I know it's been probably a while since you asked your question. Let us know. And Abigail, thank you so much. That is so kind of you for the super sticker. You are super generous. Okay, Bridget. Yeah, got it. Okay. Yeah, will I find the money to do so? Why am I hearing the name David? The D male name. Do you know a Dave, or maybe that's for deep pockets. Do you know a deep pocket Dave?
We'll hope it's for deep pockets. I'm voting for deep pockets.
Totally. Bridget, I feel like you are really resourceful. And so it feels like they're showing me like your Rolodex. That's how old I am. So they're showing me your Rolodex. And it's like, yes, I had one of those when I was younger because I loved them. And in that, it feels like there's some people that once you really put it out there and you are clear in what you're trying to create, they're saying that it just feels like the energy will be met. It does not feel like it'll be as hard as maybe, and it's not to say that you haven't tried it maybe, and it's not, I don't know, there's something there, but if this is a repeat, just really being clear on what you're trying to create, it feels like there's a lot of layers to it. Oh, that's her brother-in-law. That's so funny. but he doesn't have deep pockets. That's okay. Then maybe it's another Dave, another D name that's coming in. But in that creation, add the element of, and I'm sure you probably already have, but if not, then how you want to feel and how. So it's almost like calling the energy in of what you're creating, and it feels like abundance is there for you. And what a beautiful project and gesture, bringing back the arts. Oh, we can't hear you.
Everything stopped. Like the monitor I'm looking at is blank. My laptop is down here, which is not where you guys are. The camera's up here. But anyway, I would just say that there's a little challenge. It's really not much of anything. It may look like a big challenge, but then when you like focus on, surmounting it, it's actually really easy. So yeah, I agree with everything that Kevin has said.
Wonderful. All right. Can you see a blank screen?
I have a blank screen in front of me. Yeah.
Well, we've gone for the amount of time that we said we were going to, so perhaps we will stop there. What I'd like to do is just maybe I'm going to do, and if you feel called to do this as well, just a collective general little read for everyone to leave you all with something. I'm being called to the animals. So
the animals. Okay.
To the animals. The animals.
Crazy. A collective read for the animals?
From the animals. So I pulled the snake card, which is, and they're saying, okay, so two-parted in this, the element of healing and our ability to be healed and our ability to heal other people. And there's the dog barking in the background. That's perfect. And then the other part is the transformation. So they're taking me back to that, the message around the security and us in our transformation. And when we make the changes, how fear can creep in there, but know that our security and that we will be okay. Whatever the circumstance will look like, spirit is always supporting us in that. So there's just real medicine. There's probably, they're saying there's more. If you feel called to look at like totem medicine snake, there's further information that will resonate for some of you. But the sense of security is really big right now, and that we are okay in these changes. Love it.
I agree completely. I would just add that because there does seem to feel like a big sense of change. Like a lot of you viewing this are feeling like you're in the middle of a change or change is coming and you're not quite sure how you feel about that. So what Spirit wants to say is try not to attack the change, right? Try not to really like say, I must overcome this. I really have to do this. It's really the kind of change that it would be best to relax and float through rather than being tense through it. So to the degree that you can just sort of relax yourself and allow the change and move with the change, you'll find that it's easier to move through the change.
I love that. So good. I needed to hear that as well. So thank you. Yeah, I love it. On that, back to the breath, if you do feel called to come to the workshop, we do have seats. I was checking in the little thing and we do have, it's about 2/3 full. So we have around 30 more seats for that. And it's a free workshop with a breathwork expert, and we can all benefit from it. The details of that is going to follow once you email to reserve a seat. You'll get the setup of what that looks like, all of the do's and don'ts in that respect. But if you feel called to it, come and join us for that. Susan Lynn. It's such a pleasure. Pleasure. I can't even speak. I'd like to buy a vowel. It's such a pleasure. You're so wonderful, and people love you. And let's do this again. I can't wait.
We will. We will. Thank you for hosting me.
You're welcome.
Kevin, you're amazing. And if you guys haven't subscribed to his channel, please do so.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, he does lots of collaborations with really cool people and always in service. He's always giving these readings. How often do you do this? Pretty often, right?
At least once a week. Yeah.
Once a week, you guys, free readings and connecting with spirit for you. I mean, that is service. That's amazing.
Bless you for saying that. Thank you. And thank you, Deb, and thank you, Chris, for your donation. So kind of you. We will love to you all. And for all of my Canadian friends, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, we have ours before you guys do. I think yours is in November, isn't it?
Yeah, towards the end of November. Yeah.
Right. Wonderful. All right. Thank you all for coming. We will see you all again. Blessings to you all. Thank you.